Welcome all you OGs out there, whether you're an online gamer, an original gangster, or just an old geezer like me. This is Yuli 1961 for Old Gamers Never Die. And for this video, I'm putting together a little something for those who are starting out their journey in the game New World. Now, maybe you got a new computer for Christmas, maybe you got the game for Christmas, maybe you got the game and you hadn't played it yet, or maybe you took a break. But I wanted to give a few pointers out that I think are important to folks that are starting out. There's a whole lot of videos about all the new stuff in the game that is really geared towards high level characters. So you've already hit your 60 cap and you're doing adventures, you're doing expeditions, you're doing outpost rushes, you're doing all those things that are in-game content. There's not a whole lot recent that addresses new players coming in, and there's been a lot of changes to this game. So what I'm going to try to do is hit some of the top 10 things that I think are going to help you get it started in the game and hopefully make it a little bit easier to get off the ground after all the latest patches that have come out. So we're going to give that a shot just to make sure that I'm not showing you anything that a level 60 character can do versus a level 1 character. I'm going to be switching to my alternate, which is a level 10 character, and we'll do the stuff from that character's perspective. So you can see there's no tricks up my sleeve. This is just good stuff for you to do so that you can get launched in the game really easily. The goal here is that when you leave here, you're going to have learned something that's going to help you. If you're not new to the game and you're watching this anyway, if you see something that I may have said that you could say better or that I left out that's really important, please make sure you leave that in the comments below, because I think that'll be very helpful to those coming in new in the game. And I know you're out there. I've seen you. I've seen some new folks coming in, and I want to make sure you get off on the right foot. First thing, if you haven't updated your video drivers before you start playing New World, go update them. Go ahead, I'll wait. In fact, what I'm going to do is, while you're doing that, I'm going to switch to my other character, and then we'll come back and we'll get started on these 10 tips that I think will really help you get started. Oh, by the way, there's going to be an 11th tip at the end, so make sure you watch the whole video so you can get the bonus one that I'm going to throw in at the end. All right, see you in a minute. All right, we are back, and I'm here with my character, Yuli's a noob, and he is a level 10. You can see down there in the bottom left hand of your screen. By the way, that's the way you can keep track of what level you are. The line at the bottom is going to continue to go up as you get XP to go to the next level, so you can tell how far it is to the next one, just to get familiar with the screen. The first tip I have for you is turn off the distractions. If you hit enter, you can go over to this chat part of your window. And if you notice that when you start playing, you've got all this stuff on the side of your screen. You've got globals, you've got area, you've got help things, you've got recruitment, you got direct messages. All this stuff is showing up on your left-hand side of your screen. If you don't want to see all that because it's distracting, it's in the way, or just don't want to watch all the stuff that's going on, hit enter. If you go to this little cog wheel here, you can set everything to either show as just when it's on alert, if it's going to show up in the feed all the time, if it's going to be muted all the time and you don't have to see it. That's just something really quick when you're setting the game up. If you don't want to see all this stuff happening all the time, then you can just turn it off, or at least set it so that only things come up that you really want to pay attention to. Now, what you're going to have as you get missions, X will always put your weapon away. As you get missions, they're going to pop up on the top right of your screen, and we'll just see, I've got a couple town project. We can put that up there. If it's pinned, then it will show up right at the top of your screen, right? So you can keep track of how much of the stuff that you're getting. You're managing through whatever you're gonna do. So that's just a little cleanup on the screen, just so that you know you've got the best field of view, you're gonna be doing what you wanna do, and you're not gonna have a bunch of distractions. Along with that, if you hit escape and go to your settings, so right up here, hit that little cog wheel, and then go to gameplay. And then if you scroll down, you can see here where it says HUD shows all weapons. You want that turned on so you can see your weapons or what you got and the health of those weapons. The other thing you want to do is show extra ability cooldowns. Its default is off. Turn it on, and then what you'll be able to do is, as you're playing, you will, and you just click off of here and it'll come back. You're going to see your cooldown. So if I have a special ability, so you'll get these as you play the game. My special ability, let's see, what is it, a Q? Yeah, so I do that reach, and you can see the dial winding back down until I can do that again. If I do another special, now I always know how long it's going to take before I can use that thing again. Okay, so there's your display settings, things that are going to help you get started in the game so that you make sure that you know what you're doing, you've got the right information in front of you while you're playing all the time. That's That's number one. Number two, when you go out in the world, it's important to understand in this game, you do not heal passively. Just doesn't happen. What you need to be able to do is you have to eat. And if you go to your tab, when you start playing, you're going to have these slots. This is your hot bar, and this is where you put in your armor over here, and you put in your weapons up to the top. You get 2 main weapons. And then underneath that, that's where you're going to put your food and your potions. And these slots will open up. You can see this one will open up when I hit level 15. This one will be on 25. And you'll get bags over here that you can carry more stuff. But all that stuff opens up as you play the game. You'll want to make sure you have some food in this slot because that's how you heal when you are out in the world. If you get hurt, you can eat some food or you can take a potion and heal up some. But if you just don't eat anything, you're going to continue to drain your health until you die. And then you're going to be respawning somewhere close to settlement and it may not be anywhere near where you're at. So make sure when you go out, you take a bite. And what that's going to do is give you a little indicator right at the top of your screen or right in the middle of your screen that don't tell you how much food you've got. Now we're going to go out here, we're going to whack on this pig, and we're going to let him hit us. Hey, pig. All right, so come here. He's going to hit me. And you're going to see the damage bar go down. And it's going to start coming back up because I've got food in my system. If I hadn't eaten anything, it would just continue to drop off. And no matter what I did to kill this guy, once I got done, my health is not going to come back up. But if I've got food, like I've eaten, you can see I've got 18 more minutes on that piece of food, it's going to start healing. The other way to get healed is to go into town. If you go into any town, you're going to start healing passively while you're in the town. But out in the world, you do not heal passively. So that's tip number 2. Number 3, Azoth. Azoth is what you use to run around the map. You're going to run. You're going to do a lot of running. This is a grindy game, and sometimes it is just running from one place to another. But as you get boxes, kill enemies, beat bosses, they're going to drop something called Azoth. They're little blue vials, and when you get them, that is what you use to fast travel from one point to another. You will need to discover that point by going to it, but once you have discovered it, you can use that Azoth to go from one place to another. Now, here's the tip. Azoth doesn't drop a lot in the lower level, so make sure as you get it, you're not just burning through it to get to another place. But frankly, you want to experience as much of this game as you possibly can, so that way you make sure that you're running around, doing some stuff, and while you're doing it, you want to make sure that you're using my next tip, which is kill everything. Kill it and skin it. And in fact, if you see it laying here, somebody else didn't skin it, you skin it. Because what'll happen is when you skin something, you're going to get dropped. You're going to get hide, you're going to get meat, and the other thing is you could potentially get some special stuff that may drop with that particular animal. If you just kill it, you don't get that stuff. So make sure that if you kill something, you skin it. The other thing that it helps you with, if you hit K is kind of your general button to get you to anything as far as your character goes, you're going to have all these trade skills that you're going to need to develop and level up as you go. If you're skinning stuff every time you kill it, then you're going to start building that tracking and skinning skill level up pretty quickly. Harvesting does the same thing. So you want to make sure you're harvesting everything you can see. That this is picking bushes, picking berries, picking herbs, so that you can level these things up in the process of getting some XP and maybe getting some valuable stuff that you can sell. And the other thing I'd like to cover is where do you go? I mean, as a low-level character, I'm talking level 1 through 20. What do you do so that you can start gaining some XP and getting some of these skill things done, and also to get as much valuable resources as you possibly can get? What I would advise is that no matter where you spawn, so everybody is going to spawn in either First Light, this area here, or they're going to spawn in Everfall, or they're going to spawn in Monarch Bluffs, or they're going to spawn in Windsor. That's where your first character is going to first land in the world. One of those places. And you can see every one of them's got one of these little towers. That's the default spawn area for that particular settlement. And what I would tell you is, as a brand new character, to get resources, to get XP, to get those skill levels built up without having to, let's just call it, get robbed by other people that are higher level. Because, here's the thing. You go around the towns and you start chopping trees down. Well, you know what? 18 other people were probably chopping trees down around the town. This is pretty quiet server here right now, but you're going to be competing with everybody. If you're busting rocks, then you're going to be busting rocks with everybody else. If you go to these starter areas on the map in First Light, I'll zoom in a little bit. If you go out the south exit or entrance of the city, go down through Dayspring and across, follow the road across a little inlet here and come on around this road. This is the road that you came in when you first spawned, if you spawned in First Light, see there's the tower, right? All this area in First Light, all this area right in here is rich with resources. There's metal, there's wood, there's herbs, and you really want to grab those herbs because the herbs also give you a chance to pick up spices, and spices can sell for a hefty price in the market. Herbs also give you hyssop, which is required for pretty much any potion that you make in the game. In fact, I think every potion now, because you're basically using hyssop to make alkalium or whatever it is, and that's the basis for every potion. So you're going to need hyssop to make potions, and if you're not making potions, you can sell it, and that's something that people are looking for. One of the things about this game, it's been out for a while, and there's a lot of people on the top end of the game, and they're trying to do all this new high-level stuff, and what it requires is a constant feeder of base resources. So make sure you're out there looking for those base resources. First Light you got right there. If you go to Monarch's, we'll go near the settlement there. If you come out of Monarch's and go out again the south exit entrance into the town, come straight down the road just like you did when you came into the town to start with from the tower. All through here is wood, stone, metal, and herbs. All those things will sell in the market. If you go to Windsward, same kind of situation. You can go straight out the south part of town, come down the road here, and go to this area here, and it is again full of resources you can get to farm to get your skill levels up, get resources you can sell or craft into making other things to build those skills up, build your XP up, and make a little bit of coin. And then finally, if you're lucky enough to spawn in Everfall, Everfall has some of the best resources in that starter area. If you spawn in Everfall, you kind of hit the jackpot on resources. But again, you need to go to your starter area in Everfall. Just come out, you zoom in on the town. For Everfall, come out of your western exit of the town, entrance to exit. Come on up, follow your split in the road, and go over here. And all this area down in here is slam full of resources. You can get a little bit coming through here and through there, but the bottom part near the tower is just full of. Now, at every tower, there's also a supply box, and you can get that supply box every single day and probably every hour. I don't know how often it respawns. Make sure you get that stuff. I've gotten void metal out of there. I've gotten all kind of good resources, and sometimes I get, just the basic stuff, but hey, it's free. Stop by the tower, look for the box. You used it when you came in. That was one of the first things you got as a new character, and people forget about that stuff. Make sure you take advantage of this wealth of resources right here next to whatever town you're going. Going along with getting your resources. Now, one of the things that I mentioned just a minute ago was that you've got a bunch of people that are at the top level, right? So they're hit 60, they're doing stuff, they're looking for the best armor, they're looking for the best weapons and all that, and what they need to have is a constant supply of materials coming in so that they can craft those high level things. So if you're down here and you're going through that starter area, there's going to be plenty of things to grab. There's going to be stone, there's going to be trees. So when you come out of your town, whatever town it is, this one happens to be First Light, go to those starter areas. You're going to find resources that people are going to be wanting, and maybe they don't want it in the form that you're going to get it, but they're going to be looking for it, because here's the way the resources work. Every high level resource is made up of lower level resources. So basically what you're doing is you're taking something that's, let's just say, a tree, and if you go over here and chop this tree down, you're going to get green wood. Well, as you progress in the game, you take green wood and you make timber with it, and then you take timber and you make lumber with it, and then you take lumber and you make weird wood planks with it, and you take weird wood planks and you make ironwood plank with it, and you take ironwood planks, and that's what they need to make some of the better weapons and all that kind of stuff at the higher level game. So as a new player, this is a great time. Believe me, this is a great time, because up till just recent patches, there's not been a heck of a lot to do once you hit 6, because you've done it all, or the dungeons that are out there that you can go to were broken and you couldn't get in there. But as a new character, you're coming in here, look, there's just out the door, I haven't even gotten to the starter area, there's plenty of wood I can cut down, there's herbs I can harvest, there's hemp I can harvest, and there's plenty of rocks around. Now these are things for the Christmas event, so I'm not going to go into those because there's not really a video about that. But as you go down and go to those starter areas, you're going to find much more of those resources, and as you collect those, you're going to be bumping up those skill levels, and you're going to have something you can take back to town and sell, and it sells pretty quick. When you're selling stuff, I would make sure I would price it a little bit below what everybody else is selling it for and sell it for a day, and it'll probably be gone by the time you get it listed and get all your stuff and you're going out to town again. But it's important as you're doing this to understand what goes into what. I call it know what your goes intas are, all right? So stone, you need to make lodestone bricks and void bricks and things like that up at the higher levels. So getting stone and turning it into stone blocks and stone bricks is going to be good for you. One, for building your experience, and two, for something you can sell. People are going to be looking for those kind of things so they can take them and make them into higher level stuff. Even if you can't, they can. And so they're going to be looking for buying that stuff because they don't want to go out and bust rock. You need to bust rocks because you need to build your skill level. And then once you hit 200, you don't need to build that so much anymore. You are looking to bring up your aptitudes, and doing that, you need to do high level stuff. You need to be making the top level things so that you can get the most experience per craft. So they're not looking to go bust rocks. They're looking to make the high level things so they can get the most levels for each craft that they make. So something else to think about when you're just getting started on your character is you're going to get plenty of stuff. Every box you open, every building you break into, all the things that you're going to be picking up along the way, you're going to get stuff. And it's going to include armor pieces. It's going to include weapons. And you have the opportunity to experiment with a lot of different things because, you know, maybe you've played games like this before, but you've never been an axer. Well, you know, use the axe and see if you like using the axe and build some skill points into using an axe. If you decide you want to use fire staff, use a fire staff. If you look at your weapons mastery screen, which is K, and look under weapons mastery, you've got all these different weapons, and each weapon you level up separate. So you level it by using it, and as you level it up, you're going to get whatever you want to call these, supers, abilities, whatever, and these are things that your weapon will do that gives you a massive punch, and then it times out and it has to cool down and you can use it again. But each weapon is kind of unique around that, and you know, experiment because you're going to get drops that are going to have all this stuff in it. Take them, use them, see if you like them. At level 1, they're not going to be very effective, but early on in the game is the time to use these things and see which ones fit your play style. And the good part about it is, as you're playing, you're leveling this thing up and you realize, you know, I don't really like the spinny thing. Maybe I'm going to find out that I like gravity well better. Well, what I can do is I can respec my weapon and take all the points that I've spent on it and put them into other things. And you can do this, I think, up to level, I'm not sure on the weapons, but fairly long way in, you can respec for free, right? So you just hit this button and it tells you, do you really want to do this? It's not going to cost you anything. Or if you've gone past the point and it is going to cost you, it'll tell you how much it's going to cost. For weapons, it's Azoth. Same thing occurs for your attributes. So you're not really sure what you want to put points into. Well, experiment a little bit, try it out and see how it plays for you. You know, different ones of these are going to be more important than others. If you're, you know, you like to do long range bow and musket, then you're going to want to build your dexterity. If you want to use the battle axe and the warhammer and things like that, you want to probably bump up strength. Strength is going to tell you how hard you hit stuff, right? So that's a damage. What your melee is going to do when you're swinging that battle axe or whatever else. And it's simple. I'm not trying to get complicated. So if you're out there and you're watching this going, Yuli, you're stupid. That's not exactly what it does. It's not exactly, but it's an easy way for me to look at it. Strength focuses on how hard you're going to hit and how much damage you're going to do. Dexterity is going to be how well you go for crits. Intelligence is going to be your attacks on some of your magical weapons. Focus is going to be really important for things like your life staff, which is your healing, and the void gauntlet. And then constitution is your health. Your constitution is going to determine how much health points you have. It contributes to that health pool. So when you're setting these points up, you may want to just kind of drop things wherever you want to, depending on the weapons that you're using and making sure that you're going to survive the attacks that are going to happen out in the world. But again, if you get to a point where you're like, you know, I've been watching some videos and I see a different way to do this, well, then you can respec. And when you hit the respec button on your attributes, then it's just gold. And again, this is one you can do for free up to level 20. So you've got all the way up to 20 to kind of figure out where your build needs to be, what you want to do for free. You can switch it out many times until you figure out what you want to do. And then even after the fact, it's just gold. You spend some coin and you can reset these things as many times as you want to. So don't be afraid to kind of try it out, especially in levels 1 through 20, because it's not going to hurt you to try it. And if it's not the one you want, respec and set them up a different way, right? And I encourage people to go out and watch videos on builds because it really does give you an idea of different play styles, and everybody likes to do things differently. So the things that I do are not necessarily going to be the things you're going to want to do. And maybe it is, but you know, I'm trying to give you the overview of these are options you can use. And this is the important thing to do is just try it. And then if you find that you like it, then keep leveling it up. And if you find that you don't like it, well, then go to something else, get something that you enjoy playing and try that. So now leveling, especially leveling weapons is not about quality of kill as much as it's about quantity of kills. So if you're low level and you want to get your axe up, go to these starter areas and kill the stuff there. It's probably not going to kill you, but if you can get some mobs together and kill a bunch of them at the same time, then you're leveling up your weapon, you're leveling up your XP, you're leveling up your skinning, all those things at once. So don't be afraid to just go down here and, you know, kind of go wild. There's going to be adventures you're going to go on. There's a lot of quests in this game, and I encourage you to go on as many as you possibly can, because you're going to experience different areas, you're going to get more points, and you're going to level your character up the more missions you go out on. But if you just want to get yourself some XP, this is a good place to do it, from 1 to level 10 to 20 without having to be in a position where, you know, you're walking into a place where the monsters are just going to kill you as soon as you get in there, because that's no fun. I mean, yeah, I mean, there's a risk and reward type thing that you want to get, but if you're just dying every time you walk into a cave, then it gets really frustrating really fast. All right, so the next thing I want to cover is, what about my stuff? I am doing this fighting, I'm going out here and I'm killing stuff, and as I use my tools, they start to degrade. What do I need to worry about? Because I don't want my axe to break in the middle of a fight. And so what do I need to do to make sure that I don't have my weapon disappear on me while I'm fighting? I need to keep repairing it, right? Well, you don't, okay? And let me tell you why. You look at your tab key and you go to your weapons and you see all this stuff, okay? So one thing to know first is you can repair everything you got with one button, and that's the repair all button. Now, repair all does not repair everything. It'll only repair the things that are in your hotbar. It will not repair anything that's over here in this inventory slot. And if you die, everything takes a damage hit. So if it's a sword in your inventory, you're not using it, you picked it up because it's too high level and you can't use it yet, or you thought you might try it later and you get killed, that's going to take damage just as much as your other stuff does. Now, your other stuff is going to take damage as you use it, and so it'll slowly work its way down. Now, I'll tell you, as a new character, don't worry too much about getting everything repaired every 5 seconds, because here's the dirty little secret. This stuff here, the tools, if they break, and you have to fix them. But your armor and your weapons, if they get down to 0, they still work. Your armor is still just as effective as it ever is for base damage protection. Your weapons are still just as effective as they ever were for base damage output. What goes away is if it's got any kind of perks to it. So I don't think, as a new person yet, I don't have any perks on it, right? So it makes no sense for me to continue to repair this stuff, because what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be burning through my repair kit. And if I use too many of them, I won't have any. And then I need to repair and I can't. So instead of hitting repair all the time and using up, let's say, so if I hit repair all, it's going to say, I'm going to need 5.87 coin and I'm going to need 8 repair parts. Well, I've only got 17 because I haven't collected very many. I get repair parts every time I salvage something. So I've got a sword here. I really don't think I'm going to be using a sword anytime soon. So I can click on that and I can go to salvage and confirm, and I'm going to get a repair part and I'm going to get a little bit of coin. So as I'm going through and I'm picking stuff up that I'm not going to use, I can salvage them and start building that bank right there up. But it's going to take a while for building that up. And if you're repairing every 5 seconds because you get a little bit of damage on something, then you're going to use them all up and you're not going to have them. Especially for these vanilla things that don't have any magical properties in them or buffs or anything like that to start with. There's no reason for me to repair this. I'll use it till I don't need it anymore. And between now and the time that it goes all the way down to 0, odds are if I'm opening up boxes, I'm going to find another one that's better. So don't spend your repair parts to fix this stuff. You don't need to. It's just like when you go to sell things in the market. Now, I'm going to go to the market after I go run all these scenarios before I log off on this character, and I'm going to sell everything I got. I'm going to put it all in the trading post. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to put a stone pick on there. I'm not going to put my axe on there. If I find another better axe, I'm not putting that out there, because guess what? It's a beginner level item. Nobody wants it. Break it down by salvaging it and get the repair parts and the gold from it. But you don't need to put this stuff on the market, because I'm telling you, it ain't selling. Nobody needs that stuff. What they're looking for is the resources so they can build higher level weapons and armor. So save yourself the trouble and build your bankroll by just salvaging this stuff as you get new items. The next tip I have for you is, once you get all your stuff and you are heading back to the trading post, make sure you go in and buy the next level tool set, the highest level tool set that your XP level will allow you to use. And the reason I tell you to do this is, you know, you look at it and you go, man, that's going to be expensive. I don't have a whole lot of coin to spend. And you'll be sitting there telling me to go and, you know, I got this flint knife. I can just make these are easy, but he wants me to go buy an iron skinning knife. Well, the reason you want to do that is because the iron skinning knife is going to skin faster and it's going to last longer. And oh, by the way, you might even be able to find one with some perks on it that give you maybe more experience for your skinning. Maybe it'll give you some Azoth collection. So as you're harvesting things, Azoth drop. And having something like Azoth collection really does give you a bank you're building all the time so that you've got some to use when you really need to use it. You know, you get your friends on and you want to catch up with them and be able to venture together, and y'all are on 3 different areas of the map. You're going to want to take the Azoth. You're not going to be able to be running all the time. And for my last bonus tip, tip number 11, I want to point people to a resource out there that is aside from New World, but will give you a great amount of information about where stuff is, especially for new people starting the game. This resource is at mapgenie.io/New World. I'll put the link in the description below. It's a free resource. You go to the website, there's a turnum. You can go through different things about the different expeditions, but if we click on a turnum, this is going to bring up a map of the entire world. If you open the map, you've got all the different areas in New World, and you know they're broken down by the regions. You got Everfall, Monarch Bluffs, Windsward, First Lights, all those starter areas. And the cool thing about this, it's free, but you can log in. Well, you can register and then you'll be able to log in. And if you do that, you'll be able to mark locations that you find. You'll be able to track your collections and all that kind of stuff. So that's a nice added thing if you want to do it, but you don't have to do that. You just go to the website, go over here to the left, and you can kind of sort by what you might want to do. If you want to find where iron is, right now it's unchecked. You check it and look at all the iron nodes, and you can zoom in. So let's see, where are we at? We want to go to Everfall. Remember I talked to you about the starter area. Look at all of the iron through here. You look at some of the areas like Windsward around the town, iron nodes all over the place. So this is a great way of doing it. Now, and not just the iron nodes or the resources, but look at this. So maybe you want to go out and you want to go looking for loot boxes, and you want to look for all the large chests in an area. Well, click the button and there they all are, right? You've got a way to identify right in the region that you're in where the loot boxes are that you can go get, and it even tells you what kind of, it's a supply chest or provisions chest, and you can go get the stuff that you want to do. And it's particularly helpful in things like collecting salt, because the only place you can get salt is in Everfall or Brightwood, and they're only in provision boxes. So if you're looking for salt, you can't find it in the world unless you go find a loot box that is a provision box in Everfall or Brightwood. And there's all kind of things like that because each area has some unique functions, but this will give you a huge boost in being able to get around the map and get the things that you wanted to get for whatever you're building, whatever you're making, and things like that. So an extra added bonus for all the people who watched this video to the end, make sure you go check this website out. It is a great way of finding what you want to find on New World. Thank you for coming out and watching my video. I really do appreciate it. If you've gotten some information that maybe you didn't know before, or something that you might want to share with somebody else or anything like that, great. Please leave a like, share the video with others, leave a comment if there's something in here that you feel like you could say better, or you have some more information that new folks could use. Please leave a comment and let us know. If you are a new person and you're trying to find something, leave a comment there too, and I'll try to get that information in the next video that we do, or reach out to you and say, hey, this is where you find it. Okay, so thanks a lot. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit the like. Hey, and if you've never joined the OGs and you're looking for information on a bunch of different games, I play mostly survival games, but I also do some horror games. We have our Friday Night Frights every Friday night, and we do a live video on different horror games. I also have a Discord up. You're welcome to come out and join the Discord and hang out with everybody. Right now, a bunch of us are working on the new Lost Island map on Ark. So come on out, join the OGs, have some fun with us, and y'all all take care. Stay safe, be well. This is Yuli signing out.